All right, good morning, my friends. Today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this ring holder and how we repaired this this bracelet here. It still needs to be restrung, and there's one rhinestone I need to replace. But other than that, I now have all the cabochons on here, and we'll show you how we made that and how we repaired it. So come and join me, hit the like button and enjoy. All right. A while ago, a friend of mine gave me a bunch of jewelry. And this one here was in the bunch that she gave me. As you can see, it's missing a couple of the cabochons. I am unsure if I can match the colors that are here. I love the colors that are in the gradients of blue gray. I think they're real pretty. Also, it has to be restrung. It's way stretched out. All the rhinestones are here, so that's great. But since there are 3 cabochons missing, I'm going to start with just making 3. And then if I can match them, that's fantastic. If I can't, well, I will have to pour a lot more. So let's start with removing a couple of these cabochons. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hold it right here. I'm going to use the heat gun. It's going to be a little noisy. I don't want to use too much if I can get away with it, simply because I don't want those rhinestones to pop out either. All right, let me put my little silicone fingers on so I can hold this with my hands. All right. And I got these at the Dollar Tree, I believe. Oh, where's... Okay. None of these are hot. Interesting. So, let's try this again. Let me see if I can just pop it with a pokey tool without heating it. Doesn't appear that I'm going to be able to, because we do not want to damage the cabochon either. All right, let's try that again. And you definitely want to protect your hands when you're using a heat gun, because it is hot. Now, if you don't have these little silicone fingertips, use, there's one, if you get nylon pliers, that would be great. All right, there's 2 of them. I need 1 more. Let's go ahead and, oops, take the one right beside it. Ooh, that one got hot too. So let me just see if I can just, there. All right. So I've got 3. Let those cool down. All right. That. Did I lose a stone? Oh, I hope not. I did right there. So we're going to have to glue that stone back in. Let me put it right here with that. That is the danger of using the heat gun when you got rhinestones right beside it. But I can replace it. That's the good news. Okay. Again, put it over there, let it cool down. What I'm going to be using is ballistic gel. I got to heat it because it's thickening up. And it becomes solid at room temperature, but you put it in the microwave and it melts it really good. And I'm just going to put these on the bottom of a tray, pour a layer of this over top of it. Put it in my refrigerator so it's very solid. And then we're going to see if I can't match some of those colors. And meanwhile, I'm going to put my heat gun away. Okay. I kind of jumped ahead and didn't show you what I was doing. I took a little piece of clay, put them on the back of those cabochons and stuck them to the bottom of this tray. And then I had melted this, as you can see it's liquid now, and poured it on top of it. And yes, this is looking very, very dirty. And that's what happens as each time you use the ballistic gel. Any resin that gets left on, or a little glitter or whatever, gets suspended in there. And I haven't figured out how to get rid of it. If anybody has any suggestions, I'm all ears. Anyways, I also had these two cabochons that I had that are cameos, and these are actually cameos I had made using this process, and I wanted to make some more, so I'm going to do that. And now I need to go around, especially on this see that air bubble right there? I don't know if you could see that. There's a lot of air bubbles on the surface. I'm not worried about those. There's one right there on the actual cabochon. I want to get rid of that one. Right there in the lady's hair, there's one. But you want to make sure all your air bubbles float to the surface. There's one right there. So they don't mess up your resin pour. Now these here, I don't think they're going to have any air bubbles with them at all. I don't see. Oh, there's a little tiny one. Okay, so I was wrong. Just go along the edge. Just kind of brush it. Do not dig at it or anything. Okay. All right, and I'm just moving the bubbles off from above it. I can take the lighter and it'll pop these bubbles just like if you were using resin. The one right there. Did it come up? I guess that's not an air bubble. That's part of the mold, the actual cameo. All right. Put that over there. Do I have the lighter here? I don't have the lighter. I was just going to show you how I pop the bulbs. It doesn't matter because this is the back side. And that won't affect the demolding at all. Can you see them? I know. The closer I get back, the worse the light is. But all those air bubbles on top, they're superficial. They don't matter. But I really like those cameos. I said, well, while I got a chance, let me go ahead and make another set of those. And I can probably make a couple of sets because, you know, it's not going to mess up the mold. And if it does, oh well. So anyways, let me go put this in the refrigerator and let that set. All right, while I have the heat gun out, I want to try something. This right here is one of the first sun catchers I did. And this right here is a rubber bangle. Well, because it's rubber, it was able to bend. So let me take the heat gun, just heat up the resin, and see if I can't flatten this out. Let me get my silicone fingers back on. Flip it over. Nope. Let's stop. See what I did? I don't know if you can see it. Wanted to try it. Oh, well. I had taken this out of the... Oh, yeah, you're going to flatten now, huh? Yeah, stinker. It ripped right here. Between where that chain is. I actually put a chain inside the yeah, this right here is a chain. All right. Could I fix it? Sure, I could. I could lay it flat, cool it, and it is hot. What I would do is I put it under this ceramic tile and just hold it down until it was cold. And then just do another layer of resin on it. So let's do that. But anyways, I did it too quick. I pushed on it and I tore it. That is something that could happen when they're really thin like that. But like I said, just put another layer of resin on it and fix it. Yeah. Is it one of my favorite sun catchers? No. It was one of the first ones I ever did. My ones that I'm doing now are so much cuter. I hope that you got to see the Noah's Ark that I did and the chicken ones. So I did both of those on though. So I'll be back. Okay, this is cool now. You can see it's flat. Still has a break right here. But like I said, wow. All right. Okay. Did you guys enjoy the ride? It was like the arm that's holding my camera up clamps onto the table on the other side of the table, and because I was adjusting back and forth, I guess I loosened it up until finally it was like comes right off in the thing. Anyways, that was startling. Anyways, we're back in the gear business. It is now clamped back to the table. I don't think you'll fall off again. But anyways, I was saying that now that that's flattened, I can take and put some more resin on it. I might put some butterflies or something on it. Something cute. I got these little butterflies here. And I can make them in different colors. They come from this mold right here. Right here, these molds. And I can make them in different colors and just put a bunch of butterflies on there. And I guess I could do some leaves if I wanted. Although, to me, those look a little like pot leaves, and I'm like, want to stay away from those. But yeah, those would be cute on there. Ta-da! So, and I also have some, they're opaque stickers that I could have put on here that are butterflies or bugs or little things like that. So, anyways, we can think about that later. But since I had the heat gun, I just wanted to try straightening that. And like I said, we got it straight. I just need to now fix the crack that we made in it. Things like that happen. That's life. The main project I'm doing today is this right here is a coaster mold, and I poured it with 2-part epoxy. This has got glitter here, and then there's a pale blue center. Next step is I poured some of the ballistic gel into a tray, and once it's solid, I'm going to cut strips and put strips across here like this here. And then once I do that, then I'm going to pour more resin and fill it up with resin. Once it's set, I will pull the ballistic gel out so they'll have slots along through here. And then I can take rings and just put them in the slots. And I will have a ring display. That's the project that I'm doing. What do you think? Don't you like the sparklies? I love sparkles. I don't know what color I'm going to color the base. I think it's going to have to be a neutral color I could do black. It'd probably be pretty. The slots where the rings won't be will show through as this light blue. So that will be kind of cute too. But the reason I want to do maybe black or whatever is because if you look at these here, they kind of, the rings, especially on the blue rings like that one and this one here, that background just kind of eats up the bling on that one. See, if you look at them here, you can see a lot more pretty. And I could do it in white. Do I have any black that I can put it against? I don't see any black that I can bring over to you. Before we do pour it though, we'll decide on the color. All right, well that's it for now. We'll be back. Okay, this is chilled. Let's pull it out. There we go. It's just a tray. All right, now I need to cut strips of this. And I am going to try and use the knife that comes in my clay kit. And let's come over here. Go right there. Let's see, I need about, I think like that. Ooh, this ballistic gel is very, very strong. So it's a lot stronger than clay. So let me rock the blade. Rock, 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 rock the blade. It is cutting it. Just not cutting it very. All right, do I have it all the way down through? All right, let me flip it over. Almost. All right. This is really strong stuff. And you can go to my video called Ballistic Gel and it will tell you how I made this. Basically, it is what's it called? Knox gelatin and glycerin. Let me get scissors. It will cut with scissors too. Let's just cut right about, let's cut it a little shorter. All right, put it right there. Okay, put the next one right here. Let's bring them out a little bit. Put this one out just a little bit. Turn it over. Turn it over. I'm going to keep it straight if I can. All right, I might want to have those a little bit further apart. Now I wonder if I should, let me cut it with the scissors instead. It's not a real clean cut. Let me try. That'll work. Let me put it on this end. Right there. Okay. Ooh. Cut another. Actually, I need a longer one. So let's go right here. See if I can get it real smooth like. Got a little thin there on that end there, but let's put it right there. So we'll cut this end off. Right there, and now I just need one more for here. I think I want to move this down a little bit, so let me cut a little bit off from this. Move it down, maybe a little bit more off. Okay, right there, right there. That one goes. All right, let's cut this one a little shorter. Let's cut it off from that end there. There. Now I just need that one long one. All right. That one's too short, I think. Yeah. So make it. I know this is thicker than I have been making them, but some rings are actually pretty, let me show you on, like, see the band on this one? It's much wider than, say, this band here. Can you see the difference on it? So having a wider thing might be okay. And this, clip that there. Deep. Let's move this. Anyways, with the ballistic gel, it is, I think it's 4 boxes of Knox gelatin and 1 bottle of glycerin to make this, and I forget how much water. It's only like, I don't know, 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 a cup. I don't remember the exact amount. Okay. All right, now all I gotta do is mix up some resin and just pour in all the other spots here. I'm gonna move this up just a skosh here. Okay. It's over. I'm gonna make sure you have it where you want it, because once you pour the resin, there's no moving it. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, while I mix up the 2-part resin, I am using T-Expert 2-part A and B. I do have lines drawn on my thing here and here because I don't need a lot. Anyways, here's the recipe for the ballistic gel, reusable gel mold. Right. Anyways, so go ahead and copy that if you don't have a copy of it already. And it's really easy to mix up. And didn't mean to bunk you. Just couldn't see the fill line on my my cup here. All right. The lighting is not terrific. All right. Anyways, let's see. It was 3/4 cup of boiling water, 1/3 cup of cool water, and you're gonna mix the cool water with the unflavored gelatin. Right here. Let it rest 5 minutes. It's called blooming. You want it to bloom. Basically, it's just the water absorbs. And then you're going to add the boiling water. Throw it in all at once. Stir as fast as you can till it all dissolves. Then you add the glycerin. Stir it. It says chill, but you can actually just heat it a little bit if it's not stirring all together really well. Then chill it, then heat it and pour into your molds. And the reason the heating, you're doing the two-part, you don't just go from here right to the mold, is because you need all those little granules to actually melt and to get totally absorbed. Okay, but then I just put it in a little Rubbermaid container like this here, and with a lid so it doesn't dry out. I'm probably going to have to add maybe a teaspoon of water to this because it is getting pretty strong, very hard, and it will get, as the water evaporates with each use, it will get a little tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. So it's actually gets better with age. So yeah, the fact that you can just keep reusing molds, because if you use the silicone mold, usually any mold you make yourself isn't something you're going to make, you know, like hundreds of, especially if you're fixing jewelry. Like how many of these would I ever use? I only need 3. So this is perfect for it. I've got the reusable gel mold stuff, and I have probably made 12 different pourings, maybe more than that. Yeah, probably closer to 20 since I made it, and it still works. So, and it's non-toxic. Both these things are edible. So if you're worried about fumes, or if you're worried about pets or children or whatever, this right here is perfectly fine. If you've got if you're making, say you're making soap or clay or something, and you want to use this mold for that, because children should not be doing resin. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. It can be toxic. I am very careful. I am not got gloves on right now, but right now I'm not pouring either. I might use my little fingertip things if I'm going to handle it where I might get it on me. I do have gloves. The T-Expert and also the Let's resin. I don't smell any fumes in these. I am in a large room here, and it is pretty well ventilated. So there is that. But yeah, children, or if you're pregnant, I wouldn't do resin. They have come up with a new resin that you can get that's non-toxic. But yeah, this stuff here is pretty good. Anyways, I'll be back. I got to stir this for 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to pour a little bit of this into there so that we can use it for the little cabochons here. I'm going to set it over there. All right, now need to add some black to this. And this is quite a bit of resin, so there's 2 drops. And that's just acrylic paint that I got at Walmart. And I want to make sure that it's not, you know, like metallic or mica powders. Mica powders have a real big sheen to them and everything. Because we just want it to, you know, stay in the background. I'm thinking I need just a little more. That's not coloring good enough. I think it needs a little more black. Yes, that's all right. There. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's pour a little bit. I'm going to try to keep these fairly even. And if I don't have enough resin, I can actually put some clear resin on top of this black. Let's put some more on this one. Enough. I'm getting it all over the top of these. I don't want it on the top. It ain't gonna hurt anything, mind you. All right, how much we got on there? Need a little bit here. Okay. Here. 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 Putting this back one. Okay. Well, this seems to have been the perfect amount of this. All right. Now let's scrape it off the top here. And I am wearing a gloved hand for when I carry this over to the other side of the room. If I spill any, it'll get on the gloved hand. Of course, it'll get on my 50-year-old shag carpet too, but yeah, we won't discuss that. All right, that looks a little less than. All right. All right, let's clean these off. Got a little bit more in here, so let me put it over here. This one seems a little, not quite as full as these over here, these two here, well, these three. All right. Well, I am going to take this to the other side of the room. I am not going to use a lighter on that simply because the lighter can melt that gel. I'm spraying it with alcohol ink. And it has, oh, I can see all the bubbles just pop. They're going like crazy popping, these little teeny bubbles. So anyways, let me put this away until tomorrow. All right, this here is all set. You just pull it out like that right there. Okay. And those there. All right, now I have the 3 little molds there. And I'm not sure what color I need. I was looking at the bracelet. That's clay pieces. Dig the clay off in the back. And anyways, it's not like, it's not uniformed. There's like light gray, gray, like a periwinkle blue and then a darker periwinkle. Anyways, they some of them have the same grays, every other one. Some of them, yeah, let me show you. Got that out of the way. All right. All right, you got this color, this color, this color, and this. That's all 4 colors. But if you come over to here, this gray and this gray are the same gray. And then somewhere they have 2 blues like that that are together. So let's go 1 set, 2 sets. So I'm going to need the darker and the lighter. But I have, what have I got here? I got a darker and a lighter. So we're going to assume that those came from here. Okay. So then we have the dark gray, light, dark, dark, light. And see, this gray here goes with that gray there. Same gray. And then you go right here and it's got that gray and that gray. Like I said, and then this blue and this blue. So let's just, I'm gonna need the grays here, and I guess I gotta make one of each. All right. Let's mix some colors, shall we? Not my greatest talent. But let's start off with this. This is Pinwheel Blue. And we get a little light blue here. This one I probably shouldn't use because it's a metallic, and I'm hoping that it just kind of, I think it's going to be too shiny. Okay, so that one we're probably not going to use. Okay, I also have white and black. Now, I also got a darker blue if I need a darker blue, but I think this blue here, yeah, see that blue is that blue. So I think if I just take this blue and lighten it, and then for the grays, add the white and a little bit of black to it. All right, that's what I'm thinking. All right, and I'm going to use my little metal thing here because I can wash this. So get my trusty dusty butter wrapper out. All right, it's morning, my friends, and this has been sitting for since yesterday, and let's see how it came out. All right, as you can see, the ballistic gel just separates really easy from the I kind of touched that last night. I just went like that, and when I did, it hit this here, so I'm going to have to sand that. And the edges are sharp here, so we're going to have to hit that with a sandpaper too. But my thing is, did it work for a ring holder? As you can see, excuse me, when I said the ballistic gel will get impurities in it, this is why. You see here where the resin got on it? Some of it's very small, very thin, and that you don't always just see right here some. That doesn't always just peel right off. Now I can take tape and clean it up with tape, and that's what I'll do. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's bring in some rings. These are rings that need cleaning, fixing, whatever. All right, let's try them out. There we go. What do you think? And some more. I'm pretty happy with this. Oops, that one needs a smaller one. All right, that one probably needs a smaller one. Do you need a smaller one? Is that what you're telling me? Or were you just not happy there? All right. Could these be a little bit thinner? Yes. And that's great too. How I can do that is I can actually just, after I sand them, I'll have to go in with some UV resin and just polish it up. And the reason that you do that is because it will have a matte finish after sanding, and the UV resin will just bring it up. And what I can do is I can just hold it like this and paint in here, along here, like levels, and then dry it like this here, and then go on this side and do the same thing. It'll also see how on the one, let's see if I can figure out which one it is. This one right here. See this here where it's not, where I didn't get it smooth? Well, the ballistic resin takes an exact casting of that, and that's why I have this right here that isn't smooth. But I am extremely happy with this project. I do have a little bit of work to do on it. Not a problem. And these rings you will see again because they need to be cleaned. And we'll do that on camera probably. All right, let's set that aside. That's a win. All right, these are the old ones that I pulled off this bracelet. It has the maker's mark on this is LC right here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. Yep. Anyways, I don't know what that means, but anyways, it was missing cabochon, so it don't matter. All right, let's pull these cabochons out. Ooh, that one had an air bubble, I think. All right. I'm going to make some more anyways. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, and where's that? There's a. Just set it in, and let's see if that's going to work for us. Turn over. Turn over. Look at that. Whoops. Ah. It's not glued in, so it doesn't want to stay. There we go. And it looks very much like that color right there. But you can see that there is no other between here and there of that color. And that's what I was saying. They're not exactly lined up. And then we can... So I need to make some of the gray ones. Whoops. This one here was a... the light periwinkle. This color. Come on. They're so tiny. There. Whoops. Now you're getting... Once you glue them, they ain't going to be doing that. All right. Just... you can see what it's going to be doing. And I think we got the colors right. I think we got the things right on that. All right, so I just need to make a couple of the lighter color ones, and we're going to glue these in with E6000 glue. And so to do that, I'm going to bring my paints out again. I had to put way too much paint out last time, but I had to wash it. It's very hard to get just a little drop of white or blue or whatever color you're using. And come on, just yeah, that's all I need on that. And let's do this little periwinkle. We aren't going to need much of that at all, just enough to make it a blue-gray. All right. Now, let me use my squeegee, this here, to mix the colors. And let's start by mixing those two. Add some black. Need more white. I may need even more white than that. These other colors are pretty intense. All right. Yeah, that kind of looks like that gray right there. So we'll want that gray, and we'll want a whiter gray. All right, let me bring my trusty dusty butter wrapper out. Let me just come over here and lighten what I have on here. All right. We're going to use UV because we do not need we don't need a large pour. So since we're just doing a small pour, okay, let's check that against, let's see, where's the light gray? Actually want it darker now. Okay. I don't see any quite that light, but it's better to start out light and add color than it is trying to take color away. All right, let me find the light grays. Light gray, light gray. All right. Okay. Let's split that off a little bit. I'm making this a little darker using because I'm gonna, I think I can just do that color right there. Yeah. All right, let's bring this back. Fill in a cabochon hole. Just like that. I'm gonna have to clean that one up a lot, huh? All right, let's do a second one. Now that lighter one to me is bluer, so I need to add more blue to it. Come on, spread all the way out, all the way. All right, we'll get you in just a minute. This is a blunt instrument for doing that there, huh? All right, let's add more blue to that. Okay, and it's going to need more white, and I don't really have much white here. Well, that might be enough. Let's bring it over here to just thin it out a little bit. We're getting too much paint versus resin. All right, let's see that color. Actually, too periwinkle, I think. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dot of the white, just because I don't want to get too dark, and then I'm going to add this blue, which is a lighter. What is this blue? This is ice blue. Ooh. Okay. Mix those two together. Okay, now add some of that to this. Oh yes, much better, much closer in color, don't you think? Yeah. Okay. Let's fill the last of these little things here. Come on, run down in. Run down in. All right. Let me get a toothpick. Oop, stay put. I don't want you out everywhere. All right, there's an air bubble right there. Make sure these are full. Need any more in that one? That one's filled good. All right, let's take a little bit here and put it in there because I think that just needs a little bit more. Same with this one. Just a little bit more. Clean off some of that. All right, let's just put that under the light. I knew you were gonna fall, you stinker. All right. Now I do have leftover here. The leftover paint's just going down the drain. I don't save leftover paint. That's even for me, that's kind of over the top. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's go ahead and save the resin. Save the resin. Save the resin. All right. Let's get it off the top here. Don't need it on the edges. That's just the waste. Don't need it on the cross. The inner cross there. All right. Clean that off. All right, that goes in the trash can. Take a paper towel, clean that up. Oops, this right here is resin. Can go in there. Well, didn't really, did it? All right, let's clean that off. I'm going to put a little bit more resin in because I think the paint ratio to resin in this particular might be a little high. I think I may, when I was cleaning it off the butter wrapper, I may have picked up a little bit of the what's that stuff called? The paint, more paint. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to stir this in a little bit. Will it make a pretty cross? I don't know. I haven't had one that turns out ugly. I mean, there's some that I'm going, eh. And then other people go, oh, I like that. I'm going, okay. This one's got a lot more paint in it, so I'm kind of borrowing and spreading. So let me add a little bit more resin in this area here because I think it might have a little more of the paint in it. Okay. And how does that come out? Like this right here, you can see it's just about got the same color. And ooh, this did not cure hard. So I'm going to put some UV on top of it and cure it some more. It's possible that the amount of paint that's in that has kept it from getting too hard. So let's just put a nice coat. Just a nice coat on there. Oh, I'm sorry. I bunged you. Take a stylus. And these styluses you can get Walmart. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. They're just a silicone tipped stylus. Yeah. Okay, let's put that back under the light. Let's put that one under the light. And let's take a break. Okay, these are cured. As you can see, I gotta do a little trimming. Here's that one. And that one. And that one. All right. And you see I also got to do some cleaning here before I put this ballistic gel back in the container. I want to get as much of this stuff off as I can. And I'll do that with tape. Just like you do clean up anything else with packing tape. Yeah. You can clean up your ballistic gel molds that way too. All right. Paint off from that. And this here. Just like that. And on this one. Now what I'm going to do, these are cured, but I'm going to put them under the light again. This way, bottom side, right side up, so that they get a harder cure on them. Does that make sense to you? Well, that one looks dull. All right. Let me put those other ones in there too. All right. Do we know which ones? All right. Those are the original. Yeah, you can tell because of the back. They're flatter on the back. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and put these under the light and cure them for a little bit more. I have cleaned this up a little bit, and I have done a little bit of the UV on the top here, and now I want to go in and just put some on the shelving like here. I think I'll do that off camera. I mean, it's not anything that's really exciting. And but yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. It still needs to, the sander has to hit it. Yeah, I use my deburring tool and went along the edges like this here, and cleaned up some of that there. The ones that were sticking way up high, and took off some of that. Because we don't want anybody to cut themselves on this, because resin you can actually cut with resin. They actually make knives out of resin. So yeah, you can get a nice sharp edge on it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, much better. No big lump right here. I sanded it down and covered the whole thing with another thin coat of UV resin. Okay, while we're waiting on that stuff to cure, this here packing tape, just go like that. Just get as much of it as you can. It's down in some crevices here, so just try what you can. Oh, I got it. I didn't think I was going to get that one piece there. And I have not done these here, so I probably won't destroy this mold. Normally I'd just cut it up and put it back in the dish when I'm done with it, but I'm not done with it. And these are those strips that I used. And they've got some resin and stuff on them. So, how can I make this better? You got any suggestions? If I could figure out some little trough thing where I could pour these and instead of cutting them, that would be better. I just don't know what I could use to make these with. See all the stuff that's coming off from that? Can you see? I don't know if you can see it or not. But, and when you don't get it all off, that's when you get all the stuff inside your not resin, your gel mold here. Oops, my tape bent over on itself. You can see some blue glitter that's from past. You can see all kinds of stuff. All right. Anyways, it's actually kind of therapeutic, fun, making taping your molds and your resin. Oh, look at that! That's a big piece of resin. Clean it all up. All right. There we go. Whoops, what's that? And any sticky left on the tape, go around and see if you can pick up some. There's always a little piece of glitter that you can find if you're like me. Glitter gets everywhere, and you think you got it all, and then you turn around and there's another piece. Okay. I did take my Dremel. This is nice and smooth now. It doesn't look nice and smooth, but it doesn't have any sharp edges. Okay. I just poured here, and I poured here. And yeah, I think that's going to work. I will do another pour on top once I've finished the edges, the inside edges. And I'll show you what it looks like, hopefully. Ooh, I need to sand that. There's a flaw in my mold right here, and I don't know what happened to it, but it's got like a rough edge right there. I need sandpaper, or a emery board will work too. Oh, here's an emery board. La-da! Emery board. And you just put it like that right there. Use the finer side. And yes, I did get this from Magnolia Manor. They come to our church and talk about all the ministries that they work on, and our church donates, but we also do personally. So it's always good to have some charities that you support. Can't support them all though. Ugh. We have people coming out the woodwork wanting those money, and we do have to turn down quite a few. Sad, huh? All right, I'm going to leave this until I have other colors that I want to put in there. So that one's not done. This one here, this one's done. What do you think? Not bad colors, huh? Needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But yeah, I kind of like that. Every cross that I make is different because of the fact that it is leftover resin a lot of times. Sometimes I'll make one on purpose. This one here was just leftover clear from the of the 2-part epoxy. You can't save that. So I just poured it in the mold, and then I just filled it with black glitter. I don't know if you can tell that there's glitter in there or not. But every once in a while you'll see a little spark, but black glitter really isn't as pretty as other glitters. It doesn't show up. And I do need to put another coat on the back. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, it's time to do some gluing. All right, we're going to need the blue ones. So let's do let's do these 2 blues right here. They are a little different, or we could do these 2 blues. Let's do these 2. Those are a lot different. A lot different. Not a lot different. They're just more different. More different, more different, more. So we're using E6000 glue, and I'd show you the thing, but it's been rolled up, and so you're not really going to see. Is that the one I was working on? No, it's this one. All right. And let's put nice glob of glue. And why am I putting so much glue? Because these things are hollow. All right, that one's not hollow. This one is, though. So let me just drop that one in. Set it in the glue real well. Let's get another one. This one I'm not going to fill quite so much because it has a flat back on the cabochon. There we go. And look at that. What do you think? I think we did it. All right, now we need the gray and the light for these two here. Okay. Ooh, no, don't get globby. The glue's getting globby on me. Oh, are those the same gray? Could be. Let me take that one off. Let me use this one. Yeah, that's a different gray. Definitely a different gray. Set it down in. Make sure it's seated well. Okay. Now let's do the light one right here. Yeah, let's get some fresh glue. I can't believe that thickened up that fast. I'd rather get more glue than deal with issues. And yes, I do still have to restring this after I get these all repaired and dried and cured and all that good stuff. Then I'm going to have to tear it all apart and put it back together. Okay, now we're going to use this one right here. Come on, flip over. No, there you go, just like that. There you go. And one last one right there. Okay. And which one we're going to use on that one? We're going to use a blue. Is that the same? Nope, different blue. Okay, good. All right, let's get that in. Get it seated nice. All right, there we go. What do you think? As I spin it around, can you go, oh, it's that one. It's that one. Let me go slower. Slower. Ta-da! Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we just gotta let that set for like 24 hours and cure. I do have some extra ones right here. We don't need. We'll just put them in some other resin project because we don't waste resin. Okay, we'll let this dry on here and then we'll just flick it off once it's all dried off because that's what glue can do on this stuff here. All right, let's bring this back here. What do you think? Oops. I think I just put some glue string on it. All right. Oh, what's that? Man, getting things all over it. Ooh, what happened here? I got a bubble. All right. Well, I'll be back after I sand that down and re-resin. Oh, what do you think? I think they need to be deeper. Although this got a little resin down in it, so that may be why this is not so deep. And they could be narrower too. They don't need to be quite so wide. But yeah, I think it's a good start. Let's take a few of these out so they're not quite so crowded. Yeah, see? I see that one needs to be narrower. Fit in there, yeah, fit in that one. So a lot depends on the ring as to how well they will sit in my little thing here. This one here seems to be the perfect size, this one. And maybe this one here. Whoops, nope, this one. This one I think got resin in the bottom of it when I was doing it. So. Okay, well, that is my prototype. I think it looks good. I just need to figure out the channels better. And I can do that because, yeah. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And tell me what you think about my ring holder. I suppose I could take my Dremel and just drill slots deeper in this. And I might do that. Because it can go all the way through. I mean, it's this thick. So I can actually go quite a bit deeper than what's there. It's just that dremeling is very messy. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Come back and see me. This is Bethany with New Life Jewelry Creations. Bye.